When it comes to bringing a story to life, some actors are so dedicated to their craft that they'll go to some seriously extreme lengths to make sure that they're being true to the character. Today, we're breaking down 12 celebs who went on crazy diets for film roles. This probably goes without saying, but none of these crazy diets any of these celebs went on should ever be tried at home, especially since even most of the celebs themselves will admit that they started worrying about their health at a certain point. So, with that being said, let's kick off these crazy actor diets with Chris Hemsworth. Chris went down to a diet of just 500 calories a day in order to look like a starving shipwrecked whaler for his role as Owen Chase in the maritime epic In the Heart of the Sea.
Listen to me, boy. Listen to me. He can help us.
Chris said of the excruciating diet, "We have to shoot the really skinny stuff where we drop down to 500, 600, 700 calories a day, a good 3 or 4 weeks, and it's going to be pretty uncomfortable, but we'll be together in our misery. I spend more time thinking about food than anything else at the moment." That's certainly one way to get castmates to bond. Next up is Christian Bale, who is no stranger to going on insane and downright dangerous diets to truthfully portray his characters. He notably lost 63 pounds for his role in the film The Machinist. Christian revealed he relied on a diet of apples, coffee, and cigarettes for his role as insomniac Trevor Resnick for the movie. And just to give you an idea of how dangerous the weight loss was, 63 pounds was a third of his body weight at the time. He then had to immediately bulk up for his role as Batman just 5 months later. Talk about pure dedication. Next on our list, the gorgeous Lily James admitted she had to be on a liquid diet in order to fit into those tiny corsets for her role as Cinderella. She said of the shoot, "When the corset was on, we would be on continuous days, so we wouldn't stop for lunch or a lovely tea like this. You'd sort of be eating on the move. In that case, I couldn't untie the corset. So if you ate food, it didn't really digest properly, and I'd be burping all afternoon, and it was just really sort of unpleasant. I'd have to eat soup so that I could still eat, but it wouldn't get stuck." And that's why we don't wear corsets anymore, ladies. Next up, Matthew McConaughey survived on an eating plan of Diet Coke, egg whites, and a piece of chicken a day to slim down for his role as an emaciated man suffering from AIDS for Dallas Buyers Club.
You've tested positive for HIV, which is the virus that causes AIDS.
Matthew explained of the transformation process. "I had to relearn how to entertain myself because I wasn't going outside, I wasn't going to dinner, I wasn't going to social places. I was writing so much more, reading so much more. It ended up being this really fun adventure internally." It wasn't all fun and adventure, however, because Matthew admitted that by the time he got down to 143 pounds, he started to lose his eyesight. While Oscars are super cool and all, we doubt that any actor would say they're worth going blind for. Matthew's Dallas Buyers Club co-star Jared Leto also had to lose a large amount of weight for his role in the film as a transgender character, also suffering from AIDS.
I guess you're handsome in a Texas hick white trash dumb kind of way.
Jared lost a whopping 40 pounds to play Rayon, eventually getting down to just 114 pounds. In talking about the weight loss to The Wrap, he said, "I stopped eating. It changes the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you think." We'll just go ahead and take your word for it, Jay. Moving down the list, the already tiny Mila Kunis dropped down to a scary 95 pounds for her role as an edgy ballerina for 2010's Black Swan. Mila commented on the scary and thankfully only temporary transformation, saying, "I could see why this industry is so f***ed up, because at 95 pounds, I would literally look at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh my God. I had no shape, no boobs, no ass. All you saw was bone. My mom freaked out. She was like, you have to promise me this isn't going to affect you." And I was like, "I promise it won't, but it might take me a little time to be okay with having a little more fat on me." Luckily, it only took 5 days for Mila to put back the 20 pounds she'd lost. Now, that's a diet that sounds super fun. Another actress who dramatically changed her body for the screen is Charlize Theron, who put on 30 pounds to accurately portray serial killer Aileen Wuornos in 2003's Monster.
So I'm real good with people, and I know how to work a Rolodex.
Thanks to prosthetics, the stunning Charlize was straight up unrecognizable in the role, and she eventually earned an Academy Award for her portrayal of the real-life prostitute-turned-murderer. Charlize said of the weight gain, "It was about getting to a place where I felt closer to how Eileen was living." Charlize slimmed down soon after she wrapped the film, which, let's face it, probably wasn't as fun as putting the weight on. Next up, Jake Gyllenhaal, who got super gaunt for his role as Lou in Nightcrawler, a part for which he lost 30 pounds.
My motto is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket. So what do you say? I could start tomorrow or...
When asked why he lost so much weight for the fictional role, Jake explained, "I knew that Lou was literally and figuratively hungry," adding that he got into character by transitioning into a mode where I was always a bit hungry. As for how he lost the weight, Jake said that he takes small bites of meat, crackers, or kale salad and run the 15 miles from his house to the film set. Wow, that sounds so painful, I don't even want to think about it. But we can't talk about actors who went through drastic body changes for roles without calling out Chris Pratt, who got so ripped to play Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord for Guardians of the Galaxy, that he basically became Hollywood's most sought-after leading man overnight.
No problem at all.
Who are you?
Star-Lord.
Who?
Well, Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw. Forget it.
Next up, like Mila Kunis, Natalie Portman also got scarily thin for her role in Black Swan, with the already very slim actress dropping 20 pounds to play professional ballerina Nina Sayers.
You lost weight. Take off your shrug, please.
In order to lose the weight, Natalie visited a nutritionist and ate small portions of food that metabolized quickly and went through a demanding and rigorous strength training and ballet regime that started a whole year before filming did. She admits she was really tiny during the process, but noted that the weight loss was necessary to commit to the role fully. At least that grueling commitment paid off, because Natalie won an Oscar for her work on the film. Moving down the list, the notoriously slender Renee Zellweger dramatically gained and lost weight several times in order to play the hilarious and lovable Bridget Jones in the Bridget Jones's Diary franchise.
Seems unnatural, wrong even, for 60-year-olds to dress up as prostitutes and priests on a Sunday afternoon.
Renee gained 30 pounds in order to play Bridget in Bridget Jones's Diary and Bridget Jones: The Edge of Reason. But when asked about the weight gain, she said, "Bridget is a perfectly normal weight, and I've never understood why it matters so much. No male actor would get such scrutiny if he did the same thing for a role." Now that's a statement that deserves a high five and a mic drop. And last but not least, Tom Hanks is considered to be one of the greatest actors of all time, so it comes as no surprise that he was willing to go to drastic lengths to truthfully portray a man deserted on a remote island for years in the film Castaway.
Wilson! Wilson!
Tom lost over 50 pounds to play Chuck Noland, a normal FedEx exec who gets stranded on an uninhabited island after his plane crashes into the ocean. Tom's doctor-supervised diet for the role consisted of water, vegetables, very little carbs, and fish. Just like the character he played, Tom was more than deserving of binging on whatever foods he wanted after going through that insanity. Okay guys, that ends our list of celebs who went on crazy diets for roles. So now I want to know, which transformation did you find the most shocking? Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and after that, click here to check out celebs who were injured on set. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more listed. I'm your host, Zoe Lillian, and I'll see you next time.